everybody to our second Lunch and Learn of the year, virtual Lunch and Learn. I'm so excited to have with us many folks from the Institute for Labor Studies and Research to talk about all their programming and services that they do for our community to lift up working people and to create a better labor movement. To really kick us off today is Bob Delaney, the Executive Director for the Institute for Labor Studies and Research. So, Bob, you can take it away.
Thanks, Autumn. I want to take this opportunity to thank everybody for participating. There's a significant number of our staff participating in the program today, and none of this could take place without them. Their commitment to the work that they do each and every day truly does lead to the mission of the Institute, which changes lives and builds futures with working Rhode Islanders. And it's important to note that not everybody that comes into the programs at the Institute are members of organized labor. In many ways, there are individuals who come and their lives improve by taking education and training courses, which oftentimes can lead to a job with a unionized organization, improve contract, improve benefits. But I would be reluctant if I didn't take this opportunity to thank the staff for their work, to thank everybody for participating. In particular, I want to thank Autumn and Haley for their work on this particular project and all of the Labor Vision shows that we have done for a long time. Labor Vision is a labor of love, as well as a labor of the work of labor. And I think that it's important to recognize the amount of effort that goes into creating one of these programs and recording it for longevity. But let me begin with the Institute. As most of you probably know, the Institute has been in existence since 1980. 43 years is a pretty rich history, coming up on 44. When we first started, to the best of my knowledge, there were 26 institutes. The majority of them, probably them all, from what I understand, were in post-secondary institutions. And eventually, over time, they became consumed within the labor studies program, or they just eventually kind of got integrated somewhere else or went away. The Institute for Labor Studies and Research was a standalone facility. We started in two different buildings in Providence. We ended up moving to Cranston. We were at the building that the NEA currently is in. We had a fire there a number of years ago, which was kind of a mixed blessing, because we knew that when I came to the Institute, the goal was really to make the Institute a standalone location where people would come to be able to receive the education and training programs that would indeed improve their life. And so we were forced to leave the building that we were in. We moved down the street from where we are now into a former letter carriers building. It's a real estate office now. We were there for it was supposed to be 6 months. It was almost 2 years until we were fortunate enough to find this building in 1540 Pontiac Avenue. That was the beginning of a significant physical change in the Institute. We were now much more able to encourage people to come to the Institute, participate in our programs. We had the physical space. We had the ability to bring in our wide array of trainers who were qualified to deliver programs in a host of areas to many, many people. So the Institute continues to be, I don't like using the idea of a beacon, but for education and training, for organized labor and working Rhode Islanders, we really hope that there's a clear opportunity for people to participate in our programs, to improve their lives, to continue to have a relationship with the Institute for many years. We have individuals who started coming to the Institute probably early in their career, and throughout their career, they participated in such programs as Leadership for a Future or some of our professional development programs, incentive programs for state employees, health and safety, and you're going to hear about all of those today. The Institute during COVID made a significant shift when we moved over to virtual programming. And to be very honest with you, we hoped it would work, but I think we were on a steep learning curve at the time. And I really have to be able to say that we closed, and within 3 days, we were delivering the vast majority of our programs online. It took a real commitment on the part of the staff and the use of technology and crisis management on how to learn that technology and integrate it with the people that we were working with. We bought computers that we were able to give to people that didn't have them. We switched over our adult literacy program to one online, wondering, how do you switch an adult literacy program over online when you know the literacy level of many of the beginners? It's a struggle. And I have to compliment Margarita Martinez for the work that she did and does and continues to do around that area of adult literacy. We're very proud of our program. We have been running adult literacy here for more than 40 years. It's one of the anchor programs, and it will continue for a long time. Today, we're going to highlight the programs that we run in general. There are many other smaller programs. We have many customized programs. We will get a call from somebody to say, hey, can you do a course in welding, or can you do a particular course in de-escalation, whether it's professional development or technical training. We have that capacity because of the partnerships that we have in welding, for example, with either the iron workers or UA51 plumbers and pipe fitters, where we have access to their trainers and their facility. So the Institute is much more than the building that you see on 1540 Pontiac Avenue. It has a partnership and a connection with organized labor and their facilities. So it gives us a far reach with a high level of expertise of trainers that come from the world of organized labor and come from the non-union side of professional development, that where we have teachers and nurses and educators at a variety of levels delivering programs throughout the Institute. Today, we're going to hear in particular, the first is with Fatima Martin, and Fatima is going to talk about the pathways for educational professionals. About 12 years ago now, we had a request from Warwick from a group of bus monitors who were going to lose their job, that if we could design and implement a teacher assistant training program. It has come a long way from that period 12 years ago. We are at the point now where at the end of Fatima's presentation, she will be talking to you about our endeavors right now to implement a teacher apprenticeship training program statewide. We have 4 partner school districts. In any work that we do, we only do the work if the union representing those workers in a particular program are active in the program. And this is an excellent example of a program that has representation from the school department who hires, the unions who represent the people, and educators in the system who are doing the training with us. From there, we'll go to Kevin, and Kevin's going to talk about occupational health and safety. In-house, he's our guru on youth health and safety, rights on the job, workers' compensation, and slipping in pieces on sexual harassment and issues in the workplace that affect the daily performance of individuals. We, during the summer, go anywhere between 650 and 1,000 youth that we deliver health and safety and rights on the job to. And it is not just the individual students that receive that. In the information that they take home, we hope that the parents of those individuals get to see some of the materials, because oftentimes it's a first-generation individual who's getting the information, and they get a chance to take it at home and share with their family the rights and responsibilities and the health and safety pieces on the job that will improve their lives. We talked briefly about adult literacy. I had mentioned that it's been in place for more than 40 years. Haley, the labor liaison at the Institute, will give an overview of many of the programs, including our adult education, our adult literacy program that takes place primarily on the weekends and 2 evenings during the week. We also deliver basic steward training. She will talk about that and the individuals that we have, including people like Paul Shabbat, who has delivered our steward training for many years. He's retired, has done that job professionally in his entire career and does an outstanding job. We have professional development programs that are for individuals, for customized for companies, but they really got their foundation in our state incentive program. We started a program with the state and with ASCME in particular more than 25 years ago, where we deliver courses that are related to the jobs of state employees. And in many of the contracts, once they have taken so many courses, they are then eligible for some degree of financial remuneration or an increase in their pay. So the issue of state incentives and professional development, Haley will talk about those, but she's also going to talk about a Leadership for a Future program that's been running for 23 years, one that we're very proud of. It is currently running. Last weekend, we hosted the retreat component of this year's class in Pomfret, Connecticut at the Laborers Training Academy. And last but not least, Haley will touch base on Labor Vision. Labor Vision is our attempt to do two things: to deliver an information package and show to Rhode Islanders around issues of concern for working Rhode Islanders, for state employees, for professionals, for union members. And it's important that Labor Vision continue. We've modified it many times. It's a large undertaking, and I want to refer back again to both Haley and Autumn for the work that they do on that particular program. Our videographer, Paul, has been with us now for about 16 years, and he's kind of tailing off in that particular piece of the work that Paul Hubbard has done. And we're looking at where do we go next. And this Lunch and Learn series is a good indication of where we're going. So without any further ado, I want to hand it back over to Haley, to Fatima, who's going to be the first person talking about our pathways to education professions. She's going to talk about the TA program, how it emerged, all the way up through our emerging educators and to teacher apprenticeship. So Fatima, thank you for all the work that you've done on this program. I know that it was in its infancy when you walked in, and I remember saying to you, okay, so this is one of the babies that I think is really important. And at one point I knew when you were taking it over, it would be absolutely fine. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the introduction. Thank you, everyone, for being. The mission of the Pathways to Education Professions really to help reduce the teacher and TA, or teacher assistant, shortage in Rhode Island schools, and also to diversify the staff in the public schools and to reflect the student body. And to accomplish this, we provide TA training to 3 target populations, and all costs are covered by the GWB Real Jobs and also ILSR funds. The target populations are adult English language learners, the ELLs, youth and with barriers to employment, ages between 18 and 24, and also those that are unemployed or underemployed. We also have what Bob mentioned earlier, a pathway to teacher certification, and that's through the Emerging Educators program for the ELLs currently working in K through 12 in Rhode Island schools as TAs. Next slide, please. Briefly, the TA program, which is right approved, began in 2011 in partnership with the Rhode Island Federation of Teachers. And in 2018, with support from DLT, the Department of Labor and Training, the TA program began training those target populations. In partnership, of course, here with Providence Schools, Pawtucket, Central Falls, and Woonsocket. These partnerships are essential to the program success. And they help with placing our TAs, once they have their certificates, into their schools. Not only do we work with these partners, but also throughout all districts in Rhode Island. The chart here is to illustrate the number of TAs who have participated in our program from 2018 through the fall of 2018 through the fall of 2023. And if you see the bars, the lighter color ones, it shows that the program has exceeded all targets in enrollment, completion, and also placement or employment of these TAs. Next page, next slide, please. Thank you. From the total number of those TA participants, we have 49% who are multilingual learners, 71% who have post-secondary education, and 90% of them have expressed interest in becoming teachers. This is significant. Next slide, please. This is just illustrating some of the participant demographics, countries that they come from, and also degrees that they bring with them. Many of them had no idea that they could use their degrees in this country. So that was something that we had to work with and decide what to do. And that brings us to the next slide. Really, the TA program was the catalyst to this, to the Emerging Educators Program. We do work in partnership with Rhode Island College, the Department of Education Studies, and mainly our work with these individuals now that want to become teachers are and to begin a pathway to teaching certification. What we do is there's a pathway determination first, case management, that's assisting with test requirements, college applications, FAFSA, etc., and also the degree evaluation. If it's a degree from outside of the United States, we do evaluation on the credentials of their degree. And also direct support services. Sometimes they have various transportation, childcare, and so on. And again, this program is supported by the United States Department of Labor. Next slide, please. Thank you. These are our partners, and without them, we would not be able to do what we do. Thank you.
Hello. Thank you all for being here today. I am very excited to talk to you today about the Institute for Labor Studies and Research's Occupational Health and Safety Training Program. My name is Kevin McElroy. I'm the program coordinator for the Occupational Health and Safety Training. And I would like to go into the 4 sections that we cover within this training. As Bob mentioned, we do provide it to over 600 youths each summer. We also provide this training to adults as well, as available for interns and students. The 4 big topic overviews that we cover in this comprehensive training is rights on the job, health and safety and hazard identification, workers' comp insurance, and then it ends with an overview on sexual harassment training and what resources are available for workers. So the first section is rights on the job. This is an overview of labor laws for both state and federal that pertain to workers in Rhode Island. This includes everything from wage laws to overtime, Sunday pay, protected actions such as engaging in concerted activity or whistleblowing, otherwise known as reporting wrongdoing at the job sites. We discuss the different categories of employment, your rights as a job applicant, including what questions are legal and illegal for employers to ask job applicants and to use as a basis of employment. The next section is health and safety hazard identification. This section discusses the importance of health and safety standards at the job site, as well as the creation of OSHA through the 1970 OSH Act which was enacted to reduce work-related fatalities, injuries, and illnesses. This section discusses the expectations that are placed upon employers from OSHA to ensure that workplaces are safe for workers by using hazard mitigation techniques and tools such as the hierarchy of controls and hazard mapping to ensure that job sites are safe, and why reliance on personal protective equipment, PPE, is simply not enough in ensuring safe workers. This section also discusses workers' rights with OSHA, such as your informer's privilege when reporting a case to OSHA, which is the right to remain anonymous at both the job site and even with OSHA itself. The third section is everything related to workers' compensation insurance. This section, we discuss this resource of benefits for workers, who it covers, which is every worker in Rhode Island, both private and public, unless they're self-employed. We also discuss the benefits that can be obtained through workers' comp insurance if approved, as well as the best practices for reporting a job injury or illness, as well as the legal protection for reporting a job injury or illness to an employer. The final section is sexual harassment in the workplace. We discuss the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission's definition of workplace sexual harassment, as well as the two types of sexual harassment that are recognized by the court system: hostile workplace and quid pro quo. We also discuss some of the different archetypes of harassers in the workplace, including the opportunist, the bully, and the pest. We also go over best practices for reporting workplace sexual harassment to your employer, such as finding and obtaining testimony from witnesses who observed the incident. Next slide, please. So we have some wonderful partners that we collaborate with for this training program, including but not limited to RICOSH and the Governor's Workforce Board. These are also some of the wonderful partners that we have worked with in delivering the program to their workers, their students, and their interns. Thank you so much for your time. And if you are interested in learning more about this program or even scheduling a presentation or training, feel free to contact me at ILSR. And this program would be free for most organizations.
Kevin, if I can just jump in here for 1 second.
Absolutely.
One of the major partners that we have is the Workers' Comp Ed Unit from the Department of Labor and Training. And we've had a partnership with the Workers' Comp Ed Unit at DLT for, I'm saying, about almost 20 years. Matt Carey is the person that we coordinate with over there. He's done an outstanding job, but we really appreciate the opportunity to have that partnership, because they do in reality provide us with resources that allows us to continue to grow this program and offer health and safety that protects the lives of working people. So thank you.
Thank you so much, both Kevin and Bob. My name is Haley, everyone. I'm the labor liaison here at the Institute. My role is to continue to align the Institute's programs and services with the needs of state workforce development and unions and companies throughout the state. So we couldn't have all of our staff here today to speak due to time constraints, but I hope to cover some of their incredible work here at the Institute. I'll start off with the Workplace Adult Literacy Program, which is directed by Margarita Martinez. This program offers English classes for speakers of other languages. The classes are learner-centered, they're participatory, and all of the levels, which include beginner, intermediate, advanced, and advanced, all include some level of digital or financial literacy. Classes are offered on evenings and weekends to accommodate workers' schedules, and they're held at accessible locations, which include the Pawtucket Public Library, workplaces, union halls across Rhode Island, and some classes, like the advanced courses, are held online. Next, I'll share a little bit about our state incentive professional development and union steward and negotiation trainings, which are all coordinated by Denise Sino, the executive coordinator here at the Institute. Our state incentive classes provide professional development courses to state employees through partnerships with Rhode Island state agencies. Through their contracts, employees receive a wage increase upon credit completion, and they also build skills to bring back to their workplace. To the right on the screen is a list of some of the workshop offerings that were offered from April 2022 to March 2023, and some of our attendance rates. The basic and advanced steward and negotiation trainings offered here at the Institute are designed to refresh and/or familiarize union officers and stewards with the legal rights and responsibilities in representing bargaining unit members, as well as the best practices for contract negotiation. The basic and advanced steward training covers the duty of fair representation, wine garden rights, labor laws, and handling grievances. And the negotiation training covers how to develop cost and present proposals, as well as steps to successful negotiations, and it offers an opportunity for participants to practice negotiation through mock negotiation sessions. Trainings are specialized cohorts where union members can discuss the issues that they're currently experiencing in the workplace and practice addressing them with the support of a professional who's experienced in federal mediation. And the professional development workshops offered here at the Institute are designed to empower employees to achieve their personal and professional goals and contribute to their organization's success. The offering that I wanted to highlight today is one of the newest offerings at the Institute, which is the De-escalation, Conflict Resolution, and Communications workshops. These workshop series include interpersonal de-escalation, communication skills, how to be an engaged bystander, nonviolent communication, and violence de-escalation and intervention. These are all offerings that can be attended by individuals and/or groups or organizations. And if you are interested in any of these three offerings, please contact Denise Sino at the email and number listed here, or visit our website. And I wanted to take a moment to highlight the work of Leadership for the Future. As Bob said, we just had our retreat over the last weekend, and we had an incredible participation of unions, community organizations, and labor leaders in the state of Rhode Island. This is a leadership development program for current and emerging labor and community leaders. Participants examine the process and the impact of social influence and leadership on all the issues facing Rhode Islanders today. Participants develop community action projects to build community-led solutions at their organizations. And this program includes an overnight retreat, 10 Monday evening sessions where we have incredible guest speakers to share from their experience and support through the community action projects. And it also includes a Day of Action event at the Rhode Island State House, where the participants of this program get to showcase their work and their community action projects to legislators. And lastly, wanted to speak on Labor Vision, which is a living history of the Rhode Island labor movement. This is going to be an episode of Labor Vision. The video series is dedicated exclusively to covering issues of concern to Rhode Island workers and their families. The video series provides opportunity for union locals, labor orgs, and community-based orgs, and our industry partners to share information about any upcoming ongoing programs, trainings, and events. And here you can see an example of one of our plugs for the Rhode Island AFL-CIO virtual lunch and learn on jobs, which hosted Matt Weldon, who is the director of the Department of Labor and Training, and Alyssa Alvarado, who is the executive director of the Governor's Workforce Board. And they were on our show to share about the state's workforce development system and the DLT. This is just one example of one of the many videos that have been created for Labor Vision. If you'd like to follow us, please visit laborvisionri.org or follow us on social media. And For more information about all of the Institute's programs and services, please visit our website at riilsr.org or give us a call at 401-463-9900. Thank you for attending, everyone, and we'd love to open up for questions.
Awesome. Great. Thank you so much, Kevin, Haley, and Fatima for a really insightful presentation. Haley already stole my outro bit about telling y'all about Labor Vision and where to find it and where to follow us. So just thank you again, everyone, for participating, and join us next month when we have a virtual lunch and learn with the climate jobs team to talk about green jobs and blue jobs in the state of Rhode Island.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Labor Vision. We appreciate your input and encourage your comments.